the family won't be seen tonight, so we can bring you a very special episode of The Gen X Files. Welcome to The Gen X Files. I'm Jim.
I'm Adam.
And today's show is another
For the Stepdads.
Yeah, your dirty old stepdads are here to talk to you about stuff.
Crack open that Michelob Ultra
Yes.
and have a seat and
Coors Banquet.
discuss some adult issues.
Next month, you're going to have to get out your Cuddy Sark.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Omega Man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what a fun month.
Yeah, it was great. Man, I love Steve Martin. I love Martin Short. Seeing them together is like heaven.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's amazing.
Steve Martin Short Month was a success. And for my birthday, we watched Clifford.
Oh, my God.
Adam made a big old meatball
Casserole
that was delicious. And Phoebe
Oh,
got
no. I made mac and cheese.
Oh,
It was
no,
your mac and
yes.
cheese,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm getting them all mixed up. So
Homemade mac and cheese, yeah.
So homemade mac and cheese with bacon.
Yeah.
Oh, baby. Some
my
Texas toast for my heritage. My
Pound of
family's in
bacon,
Texas.
pound of cheese, pound and a half of cheese, pound of shells. It was great.
Ate the whole thing myself.
Yeah.
Ate all them pounds.
I sat there and cried as he ate it.
I've been backed up since. That's why I'm grumpy. No, it was great. Adam got me an amazing game. The Ragnarok.
Oh, yeah, God of War
God of War
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok, which she's playing right now because I
Yeah.
finished the first one.
Yeah.
And Phoebe got me the Mental Misadventures of Ed Grimley on DVD.
Yeah.
Oh, what a bonus. I've been watching those. I love it.
It's awesome.
And then we watched Clifford, which we talked a little bit about. Clifford is the movie with Martin Short playing a 10-year-old boy. Oh, my God. And he's visiting his uncle, played by Charles Grodin.
And Charles Grodin.
And, it is a great, creepy, weird movie.
I could not, the whole time, Jim early on in the movie said that it would have been great if Steve Martin was playing the Charles Grodin role.
Yeah.
And I could not get that out of my head. I love Charles Grodin.
Oh, yeah.
He was great in this movie.
He was.
But I could not get Steve Martin playing that part out of my head opposite Martin Short.
It was a perfect fit for the two of them.
Yes.
It would have been a
Yes.
perfect fit. And as much as I adore Charles Grodin, and he was great in this movie, I do think it would have been a better movie.
I agree.
Because
it would have been a bigger movie for sure.
the issue that I have, Charles Grodin is so good at being annoyed
Yeah.
and mad. It kind of crossed the line a couple of times for a 10-year-old boy.
Kind of.
And Steve Martin does that a little bit more charming or a
Yeah.
little bit less aggressive, I guess.
Yeah.
Than,
like he didn't see, I don't think Steve Martin would have come across like he actually wanted to murder Clifford.
Right.
Whereas Charles Grodin, I honestly believed he was going to murder him.
Oh, sure, and rightly so. But,
Yeah.
But if you haven't seen it, it is such a weird,
It's a great movie.
Little movie. And-
It is so good.
and it's it's if you just want to watch just the creepiest little boy.
He's so great
With his
at
little
being
dinosaur.
such an annoying, devious little kid.
Oh yeah, and devious is the word.
Oh my God.
And there's this whole wraparound with him as an old man being a priest. It's very
It doesn't. The whole thing is so
just
weird.
bizarre.
It is such a weird. It would have fit into our weird movie month really well.
well. I mean, we can still do it.
That's true.
We're just
I mean,
giving
we
a thumbnail.
should.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be covered.
We definitely need to know why that movie was made.
Yes, but so much fun. I want to just a couple of quick corrections.
Yes.
if you don't
Yes.
mind. I mentioned that Steve Martin played the same role as Jack Nicholson in Little Shop of Horrors, but that's not true.
No, that is not
Jack
true.
Nicholson played the.
I think it was wasn't Rick Moranis in the Steve Martin version?
I think
he
so.
played that part. Wow. The
No.
correction is
Rick
gonna.
Moranis was the star, wasn't he? Wasn't
Yeah.
Rick Moranis the?
But Jack Nicholson wasn't the lead? I thought he was the lead
No.
in it. Wow.
No, Jack Nicholson had a very small part as the
yes.
dentist's patient who loves pain.
Right.
And
Okay.
that's why.
That's
said,
where. Okay.
But
okay.
Steve Martin was
My
the
bad.
dentist causing the pain. I
'Cause
think it was either Bill Murray. I think it was Bill Murray that played that part.
Yes.
in the-
now that you say
in the
that,
remake.
I remember him, the ecstasy of being
Yes.
drilled. Yeah.
So it was
yeah.
Bill Murray that played
Yeah,
the
the
part
Jack
originated
Nicholson.
by Jack Nicholson in the Corman film.
Yeah. I honestly, obviously, haven't seen either of them in a long time.
No, but we'll have to do that film as well.
It's so fun.
It'd
It's
be
so messed up.
I think we should do a month where we do the original and the remake. Like we could do
yeah.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Yeah.
Because those are both interesting.
It's good. That's intriguing.
We could do what we were just talking about.
The Little Shop of
Little
Horrors.
Shop of Horrors, and then, pick another comedy or something. But I think it'd be fun to cover something, little dualies.
Yeah. That'd be interesting. Yeah.
We'll see. Hey, a little sneak peek into the inner workings of your favorite Stepdad show.
Yeah.
Also,
oh, yes.
I want to give a shout out to my sister Tracy, who pointed out something that I can't even believe that we looked over.
Did not discuss at all.
The whole point of The Jerk was him getting a thermos
Right.
for Bernadette Peters' character.
Yeah.
And at the very end, he traded all of the, I just want this lamp. He traded all that stuff for a thermos.
Right.
And at the very end, he did pick out a thermos for her.
He did.
And
it was sweet.
My sister texted, "You forgot all about the thermos." And she was absolutely right, Tracy. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because that is a huge leitmotif of the entire
It is. Film.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's a great movie. You have a rather personal story about The Jerk.
Yes. Okay. Let me preface this quickly. I speak a lot about my stepdad growing up and the, let's just say, tumultuous relationship we had as a child.
Sure.
When I got older, before he passed, we were able to become friends. Mm-hmm. We, it didn't make up for all the stuff that he put us through or put me through.
Right.
I mean, that stuff doesn't go away. But we made peace and we made pals. And, the last couple of years he had were great,
Yeah.
If he ever tried his knucklehead stuff, I'd just be like, "What are you doing?" And he'd stop. And so we had a really good relationship. And I recommend to anybody who has a difficult relationship with their parents or a parent to try to reconcile. If they're not up to it, F them.
Yeah.
You can turn away and walk away. There's nothing wrong from walking away from a family member if they are toxic or if they're bad and they're not willing to change.
There's no laws that says you have to hang out with your family.
However, if you notice this person making a change, what happened with Ray is he had carotid artery surgery, where he almost died. He had to have surgery, and then after the surgery, there was a big change in him.
Sure.
And I noticed it. Most everybody else didn't, and that's fine because, you're a jerk for a long, long time,
It's hard to not see someone that way if they've been that way for a long time.
I get it. I 100% get it. And, I was just lucky enough to have the time and the patience and whatever to forge a relationship with him. And when he died, it was sad.
Yeah.
It wasn't, a lot of resentment or whatever. I mean, there's always going to be residual effects.
Sure.
You're never going to get away from that stuff. But if you have a chance for your own health, your own mental health, try. If the other person is a willing participant, give them a chance.
Sure.
Forgiveness is always good.
Sure.
And it's good for you. You
Sure.
know, whatever's best for you, do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now all that garbage out of the way, I'm going to tell you a little story. So I, as we know, loved Steve Martin. Still do. But as a child, he was just this magical hero to me. And anything that he did, I wanted to see. And so when The Jerk came out, I was so pumped to see it. I was just a kid, though.
Yeah.
I was just a baby.
Yeah.
And I wasn't allowed to go see R-rated movies, of course. And so I had to see this movie. I had to. So I devised a plan, and I honestly don't know how this plan came about because I don't know if we had a VCR then. I don't know how I did this.
I think it would have been too early for.
Don't know how I pulled this off.
Yeah.
But somehow, because the old man hated cats so much, I was able to show him the cat juggling scene from The Jerk, which just delighted him to the point where he's like, "Let's go," and he took me then. He'd been drinking a bit or whatever. So it was always tough going to the movies with him because he'd be like, if there was ever like a scene, topless scene or something, he'd be like, up, close your eyes. That loud, so everybody in the movie, it was so embarrassing. So we're watching the movie and the scene comes up where Steve gets his dog. And he's like, "Hey, he's a hero. And then the guy's like, "You shouldn't call that dog hero. You should call him shithead." And I'm going to use the word, I apologize, but it pertains, right? The old man found that to be hilarious.
Of course.
And for some reason, now this is why, be careful what you wish for, folks.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I wished and wished upon every star to go see this movie, and I got my wish. And this is how I paid for it. So he thought that was so funny that from then on, my nickname was Shithead. Now, when there were other people around, he would abbreviate it to SH to not,
Right,
like if a
right.
priest was in the room, he'd be like, hey,
Sure.
SH, go get the whatever. He thought it was hilarious. This lasted forever. I mean, I think by the time, we got to be
Yeah.
pals and stuff, he wasn't doing it anymore.
Right,
'Cause
right,
I think
right.
after I broke his rib, he didn't really do it anymore either. But yeah, I mean, it was horrifying, man. Like, if you got kids, people,
Yeah.
don't give them a nickname like Shithead.
No.
It's not going to
no.
help them and
No.
their self-esteem. And look, the old man had a weird sense of humor, and I think that he thought it was like a way for us to bond or whatever. But I told him I didn't like it, and he still kept doing
Yeah.
it. And it was just the bane, and so every time I watch that movie, as much as I love that movie,
Right.
it's always going to be tainted when that thing comes up. I get a little stitch in my side or a little like whatever, because it was just like, come on, man. So
Yeah.
Stepdads, don't call your kid shithead.
Yeah. Don't do that. That's not good.
Don't give them direct. Look, it was the 70s. Things were different. Kids were treated differently
yeah,
back
but still,
then.
But still.
But oof,
Don't do that.
yeah.
It's not fun. Yeah.
So
All right. So what have you been watching?
So what have I been watching? I finally got around to watching A Knock at the Cabin.
Yeah.
Is that the name of
yes.
it?
Yes. Based on A Cabin in the Woods by Paul Tremblay.
Right.
The novel.
Which I did not read.
I have read. So let's hear what you thought of it first, and then I'll tell you why I think about the way I think about it.
Okay, first of all, the performances were excellent.
Yeah.
Dave Bautista is emerging as one of the great character actors.
Yeah.
I absolutely
Yeah.
love watching him, and I've got a talent crush on Dave.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
like
he's
one of
great.
my guys from the '70s that I just want to.
Yeah.
I'll watch anything that he's in, and he was absolutely great in this. Rupert
Fantastic,
Grint was
yeah.
great in his
He was
tiny
great
little
too,
part. The actor from Mindhunter,
Groff.
Groff,
Groff?
maybe.
One of those.
Yes, and the guy that played his
Jonathan
husband.
Groff. Yeah,
Everyone.
he's great. They were all
of them.
great. Yeah.
All of them.
Little girl was great.
Little
yeah,
girl was
yeah.
great. The
She'd
all
never
four
acted
of the
in anything before this.
She was really
was
fun.
great,
She was
yeah.
very natural.
Yeah.
That's it. I thought the entire conceit of the movie was stupid.
Yeah.
Like the whole point of the movie, I couldn't get past the
Yeah.
absolute inanity of it and
Yeah.
how just stupid it was.
You have to do this, otherwise the world ends.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. It just was dumb and pointless. And the way that he ended it was just so easy and so painless and so
Yes.
lazy
yes.
that I didn't care. I did not care.
So I normally really, really like M. Night Shyamalan. And I didn't dislike this movie. I just didn't like it as much as I thought I was going to.
Yeah.
But I normally like his choices. Like, he'll make choices, and people make fun of him for his choices.
Sure.
But, like, The Village, I loved the ending.
Yeah.
I thought that choice was great. I thought it worked.
Yeah.
Rewatched the movie. It works way better than you think it does. Like, Sixth Sense, like all that stuff.
Sure.
All those great choices. This having been based on a book,
Mm-hmm.
and a book that I had read, he made a choice in the movie that literally made you feel that way. That lazy kind of
Yeah.
like ending.
It was just too easy.
Because, spoiler alert, in the book, the little girl dies.
Yeah, and that's so
And
much
it
more
made
challenging.
it so much tougher.
Yes.
And the end of the book it's much more up in the
Ambiguous,
air,
yeah.
ambiguous. If it was actually happening, or if they actually made it, you can even believe it was happening, but you don't know if they actually made it work or not.
Yeah, this was just a Cody's happy ending.
Yeah.
And look, I'm a big fan of early Shamalama Ding Dong. I love
Shyamalan. Shyamalan. I know.
Sense is
I feel
great.
bad. I'm trying to get better about not butchering his name because I feel like I'm kind of becoming a little asshole-ish about it.
It's whatever. I'm just kidding him.
But I think he's a great filmmaker. I mean,
he's a good filmmaker. The problem with him is he peaked too early. He got too much success too early, and that puts a lot of pressure on a guy.
Yeah.
And the problem is once you have a couple of big hits and people love your movies, then they're all looking for you to fail. And I loved Signs. I loved The Sixth Sense. I loved Unbreakable.
Yeah.
I need to watch The Village again because I did not like it when I saw it. And
It is to me with that movie is that knowing the ending.
Yes.
If you watch it again, listen to the dialogue.
Yes.
Really listen to the dialogue.
That's
'cause
why
it's fascinating how it breaks down.
I think that definitely is one to watch again, knowing what the ending is, because I think you're right that the stuff leading up to it probably makes it a better film than I thought it was.
It's just really subtle when you're watching it the first time.
It's just Adrian Brody in that movie.
Yeah, you're not a fan of Adrian Brody.
No, I'm okay with Adrian Brody. I loved Adrian Brody in Poker Face.
Oh yeah, that's true. He was great.
I like him in some stuff. Adrian Brody needs a good director.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
An
actor's director.
And I don't think he got very good direction in that movie.
It's really funny because I think that Shyamalan is really good with kids.
Yeah.
Like, I think he directs kids really well. I think with the adults or whatever, like, I think he just has a tendency to let them kind of do their thing.
I don't know.
And I think a lot of actors need more direction.
Yes, they do. Because most of them aren't as good as they think they are.
Yeah.
And choices are choices. And if you make a wrong choice, the director's got to be like, wrong choice, buddy.
But again, like you said, in Knock at the Cabin, all the acting was top notch.
Yes, he directed those actors impeccably, but he also had great actors.
True, it was good casting for sure.
And we talked about this too. I think it would have made a much better play. I think I would have been more forgiving. I would have enjoyed it more if I saw it on stage, because it just seemed like that kind of vibe.
Well, the thing is because I read the book because everyone talked about it, and it was supposed to be about the end of the world and all this, and I have a weird fascination with apocalypse stories and all this stuff that goes way back. But I read it, and I was kind of like, I wasn't a huge fan of the book.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, it's like a big thought experiment.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, you probably could have gotten that done in like 20 pages.
It's a what if.
But the second that you then try to make it into a movie, it becomes very real, and you no longer can make it a thought experiment. No. I mean, that being said, obviously there's directors that can do that, and the directors that will do that and have in the past.
But this wasn't that.
But Shyamalan is not that kind of director.
And this wasn't that, because all it was these two, look, spoiler alert, whatever.
Yeah.
It's these two guys that have to decide who to kill to save the world.
Right.
And the evidence was overwhelming. There was no ambiguity to whether or not this was happening.
Yeah.
That was taken out of it.
Yeah.
Which to me is uninteresting.
Yeah, I mean, because then it's like, well, because the second that they see that first time where they're like, okay, let's watch the TV, and then the natural disaster happens, the movie should have ended. Because then after that, you have an hour of them just dithering about what do we do? What do we do? It's like, how long can you just go, well, this isn't happening? It's like, it's my least favorite trope.
Oh my God, same.
In film. It all goes back, for me, to Paranormal Activity, where obviously doors are opening, shit's flying around, and the guy's like, this isn't happening.
Oh God, I hate that. Oh, the people that are
lazy writing.
Well, because they need that foil.
It's lazy writing. Then come up with something else.
Like movies where the devil is just throwing everybody around and going, nope, not happening. It's probably the pipes.
Yeah.
They're calling a plumber.
It must be some kind of weather balloon. I don't,
know.
I mean, it's like, come on.
I don't think so.
And but that's part of the reason that I like Shyamalan, because like in Signs, it's like, this is happening.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is the evidence, and they're like, all right, this is happening.
Exactly.
And then you go from there.
Right.
And this Knock at the Cabin couldn't do that.
It insults the intelligence of the characters, and it insults the intelligence of the viewer to have that, Nettie the naysayer that's always going to be like, nope, nope, I'm just the foil. I'm a plot device.
I'm not going to believe it until the ghost is actually murdering me. It's like,
okay. Final word, it's worth a look.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a see.
It's worth to see, mainly for Dave Bautista, in my opinion. It's not. I mean, it's not going to be a slog of a movie.
Yeah.
That, it took me 2 days to get through it. I didn't watch it all the way through because I got bored. But and then I finished it. But still,
But I saw it in the theater, so like it was one of those. Well, it's not. I didn't. It moved and it was fine, but like it's on Peacock. Take a look at it.
Yeah,
It's
I didn't even tell you this. I watched something the other night. This is so crazy. So, for some reason, I watched Murder Mystery.
Oh yeah, the Adam Sandler.
Yeah, I was watching some of the Adam Sandler Mark Twain thing, and I just kind of got
Adam Sandler Mark Twain thing.
Well, he got the Mark Twain Award.
Oh, okay.
So I
was like, did he play Mark Twain?
Yes, he did. On stage, he won a Tony. Mark Twain. I don't know, and I have a fun.
No, Adam Sandler's fun.
I love Adam Sandler. And early Adam Sandler movies are hilarious, and him on Saturday Night Live hilarious. But I haven't enjoyed his recent movies. They just seem very. I get it. You want to hang out with your friends and make a lazy movie, whatever. This movie was actually I enjoyed.
Had you not seen it?
No.
Oh, I saw it when it first came out.
No, and I really enjoyed it. I thought both he and Jennifer Aniston were really good together. Yep. I like the fact that there was no Kevin James. There was no Rob Schneider.
Now with no Kevin James.
Yeah, there was none of the usual gang idiots.
Yeah.
Who most of them I enjoy.
Yeah. Well, there's a Murder Mystery 2 is coming out.
That's what I was going to say.
Soon,
I'm now excited. It comes out Friday.
On Friday. Or today. Watch it after this show.
And I watched the trailer for it, and I'm actually kind of excited. Yeah. And I haven't been excited for a Adam Sandler movie in a long time, and I'm really I'm excited to be excited.
It's going to be goofy. It's going to be fun. I mean, it'll have more plot.
And Luke Evans was so much fun. I love him.
Oh yeah,
he is so good. But yeah, so I watched those.
It's so funny. I didn't realize you hadn't watched it.
No.
Yeah.
I stopped unfortunately after the Grown Ups movies.
Yeah.
And there was a Hubie Halloween or something.
I couldn't even get through that.
They were so god awful, man.
The voice he was doing in that movie just made me. It was like nails on a chalkboard.
He is such a funny guy, but he can also be so brutally unfunny.
That's so true.
Unbelievably just bad movies.
He makes weird choices with certain characters, and it's like, nope.
And I think he would be the first probably to agree.
Yeah.
I think
was the same. Was the one where he played the son of Satan or whatever?
Oh yeah. Little Nicky.
Little Nicky had the same. It's like, oh god, I just couldn't do it.
If you have a chance, watch Conan O'Brien on the Mark Twain Award. It's hilarious. He's like the reason why all of his friends could be here on a night is because he's here. He's not making a movie.
Yeah.
These people have been sucking on the teat of.
I mean, hey, whatever. Rightfully so.
He's like he's even good to his Uber driver, Rob Schneider. And then cut to Rob Schneider, who laughed. But so that'll be fun.
I'm excited
what other
about that.
movies have you seen?
I went and saw Cocaine Bear.
Oh, I can't wait.
I'm actually pretty sure that in a couple weeks it's going to be on Peacock, I think.
Probably.
Or something. Or one of those. I think I remember seeing that it was going to be announced. But it was fun. It's been out in the theater for a while. But Phoebe really wanted to see it, and so we finally got to sit down and watch it. And
I love Elizabeth Banks as a director.
She is fantastic. I was not expecting the movie to be as bloody gory as it was. No, I don't know why. I mean, I guess
it's a bear on cocaine.
But it's not just the bear that does the bloody stuff.
He's not just going to sit there and talk to you about starting a business.
There is one particular scene that was one of the most shocking things I've ever seen in a movie.
Nice.
And it was so unexpected, and it was Margot Martindale. Who is amazing.
One of my favorite actors ever.
Amazing.
One of my favorite character actors ever.
Jonathan Tyler... I can't think of his last name.
Jesse Tyler Ferguson. From Modern Family.
When he came on the screen, no idea it was him.
Yeah, he looks so different. I love him too. It's got such a great cast.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it.
It's fun. It's really fun. And a really good last performance from Ray Liotta.
Great. Well, one of his last. I think he's still got a couple more coming out.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow. God,
probably not as good as that one. Yeah, he had a few things in the can.
Yeah.
A few things in the can.
Which, speaking of, I actually watched Blackbird finally.
Yes.
I was flying somewhere, and they happened to have Apple TV Plus on it, and I watched the first 2 episodes. So when we came back, I watched all of it. Man, Ray Liotta's so good in that. And you want to talk about actor crush, Taron Egerton. Oh my God, anything he does now, I don't care. Anything.
I can't wait for the Tetris movie.
Oh, it's going to be so good.
I never thought those words would come out of my mouth. On Elizabeth Banks, I want to talk about a movie that I just watched of hers that I just found on Hulu. I kind of remember when it came out, but it completely went under the radar. It was this movie called Call Jane that she stars in with Sigourney Weaver, and who's just fantastic.
She's another one of those I'll watch anything.
This is one of Elizabeth Banks' best performances. That's saying a lot. Yeah. She's
great.
I've never seen her give a bad performance. This movie is about in the late 60s, before the Roe v. Wade decision, when abortion was still illegal, about this underground network of women that called themselves Jane.
Oh, okay.
That had these, these flyers out that's like pregnant, in trouble, need help, call Jane. And it was an underground network of women helping women get abortions.
Oh, okay.
And Elizabeth Banks' character even ended up learning how to do the procedure and taught others to do the procedure.
Wow.
Because you couldn't get a doctor. It's
right.
It's such an important film to watch because you need, and look, it's a film, so it's not the truth. But it's a great representation of what we're going to be facing now with the overturning of Roe v. Wade.
Right.
Because, this is back when like a woman couldn't get a credit card without her husband's permission.
Yeah.
They were very much under the thumb and
couldn't own a house, it was ridiculous. Yeah.
So it's really,
and that wasn't that long ago.
No, this is 68, man. Yeah. This is, less than 60 years ago, and we're heading back to that now in many states in a lot of ways. So do yourself a favor, check out this movie. Yeah, it's called Call Jane, and it's got that 60s, 70s vibe. It's shot really well. It's directed really well, and it's not just a slog through abortion.
Right.
It's a really interesting story with fun performances and really well-rounded characters, and just a very, very interesting part of our history that a lot of people really need to kind of revisit now that we're heading back down that horrible road.
The Elizabeth Banks renaissance of like everything because not only now is she directing and she's acting and she's doing everything at the top of her game, she's hosting game shows.
Oh yeah.
Like she is a renaissance man. Like it is amazing watching her career.
She just seems like a person that you'd want to know. She just seems so smart and funny and personable and a good mom and all these things that just a very positive force and a very, very fiercely talented person.
I'll check it out.
I don't know. I've been watching a lot of 70s stuff. Like I watched Marathon Man and 3 Days of the Condor. It's just after watching Omega Man and just getting in that 70s vibe. I just want to curl up in the 70s for a little while. Because there's nothing. There's the 70s political thrillers. There's no better than that era because it was right after Watergate and everybody was distrustful of the government. It's the parallax view.
It's easy to it's believable because it's like, oh, this was actually happening.
But there were these weird, quirky movies with weird electronic soundtracks. And Warren Beatty and Robert Redford was in most of them.
You watching some 70s stuff? That's cool.
Getting back in there.
I haven't seen The Marathon Man in a long time.
Neither had I. Probably 40 years, 30 years.
Oh, wow.
But it was good. But all I kept thinking about was I was going to say Sir John Gielgud, but Sir Laurence Olivier. Watching little, Hoffman running around all the time. And I always remember that quote where little Dustin Hoffman's running up and down the stairs, and because he's a method actor, and he gets up and he's all out of breath, and he's like, okay, and Laurence Olivier is like, why don't you try acting? And it's like you got a master telling you that. He's just one of those old school drinking actors that I love, and I love Dustin Hoffman too, but it's just funny,
right?
All these, they were little hard asses back then.
TV shows. What TV shows have you been watching?
I finished Shrinking. which I love.
I still have to finish the last episode, but it is phenomenal.
The last episode was amazing. I'm predicting maybe 2 Emmy nominations for my boy Harrison Ford.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely is supporting for this one. Hopefully a lead in 1923.
Yeah.
I haven't finished that yet. That's done. But I'm kind of holding off to chunk that out in one day. Have a little marathon.
How much more of it do you have left to watch?
Probably about half.
Oh, okay.
Probably half of it. That was great. I also finished Poker Face.
Still have a few episodes left in Poker Face.
So
good though, man. The Judith Light episode with them being the old super feminists and
the old revolutionaries.
The revolutionaries. Like it was so well written. Mm-hmm. It was so well written.
All of them, really.
Yeah, and the one after with Ellen Barkin and Tim
Meadows.
Tim Meadows.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the twists in these shows are so good.
Tim Meadows is one of the most underrated actors.
Oh my God, he's so good.
He is not just one of the funniest dudes ever.
Yeah.
One of my favorite cast members for Saturday Night Live. He's also a really good dramatic actor.
Oh, yeah.
He's just a good actor.
Yeah.
And
he's a great actor, yeah.
And to see them just chewing the scenery and having fun, that was great. Joseph Gordon-Levitt was great.
I haven't seen his episode yet.
It's good. They're all good. They're all great. It just harkens back to Columbo. It just harkens back to
Columbo.
the 70s.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's so good. Another show that kind of, it's different, but it has that same kind of opening card
that feel, yeah.
Is Perry Mason.
Oh,
which
yeah.
the second season's come back, and it's
really
great.
Good.
So good. Such a great series.
I didn't hear great things about the first season, so I haven't watched it yet. Yeah,
I really liked it.
Okay.
It was really interesting. This season is a little more interesting.
Yeah,
because the first season he starts out as an investigator, and then after his employer and mentor dies, he becomes a lawyer, and so it's kind of the origin story of Perry Mason.
Okay,
and then this,
I'll check it out.
And then this season he's dealing with the repercussions of what happened with last season.
Oh, okay.
And in the new case that he has that's got these twists and turns that are really interesting, the supporting characters are great. It's just a very deep, rich.
Nice.
I was never a huge Perry Mason fan. That was the bane of my existence when I was home from school.
Every time it came on, it was like, all right, time to go read it.
We got an hour to kill with Perry Mason on. I don't think you're innocent. I think you're guilty.
Yeah. What was his name? The actor's name?
Richard Burr.
Richard Burr. Raymond Burr. Raymond Burr.
I preferred Ironsides.
Yeah.
He was the mean detective in the wheelchair. But that's really good.
I started watching The Reluctant Traveler.
Oh, yeah.
With Eugene Levy.
Yeah.
We watched the first episode yesterday. First place he goes to is Finland.
Nice.
You got to watch it.
I can't wait. Finland is the happiest country in the world.
And the best part about it is that Eugene Levy flat out is like, I don't want to do this.
He doesn't.
and then he goes, and it's so great watching him get excited about stuff. Like it's really good. I'm excited to watch the rest of it.
I love Finland. 30-something years ago when I visited there, and I want to go. That's a place that I definitely want to go back. I want to watch. I love Eugene Levy.
Oh, he's so good.
I've been watching.
So funny.
I've been watching so much SCTV since we, this month since we've been doing, not just Martin Short stuff, but just reacquainting myself with the show that I loved. And my God, he is so absolutely hilarious and a chameleon. You just think of Eugene Levy as the guy with the eyebrows, and he's he's kind of put out or whatever. But he had such great character work.
Yeah, I mean that clip we watched with him and Martin. I think it was him, and Martin Short.
Yeah.
Where they were maybe gay, maybe not. I didn't even realize it was him for the first half of it.
I know,
because it was so different from everything else I'd seen him in.
So good.
Eugene Levy was the very first actor that I ever saw here in LA.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
I ran into him in a bookstore. It was on the Santa Monica Promenade, but yeah. Anyway, he's great. He'll always have a special place in my heart.
He is awesome.
He's 75 now, and man, still looks amazing.
Yeah, I mean, look, getting to do what you love for all of your life, and what you love is also a very pampering business. I'm not. Unless you're just a hard drinking, hard drugging. Artist, you're going to look pretty good.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people that you could tell the ones that are looking hard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, look at Harrison Ford at 80 something. He's still, in better shape than I am.
Yeah. Yeah. he's so good. God, he's so good in Shrinking.
He is great.
You absolutely need to watch Shrinking.
Yes.
I highly, highly recommend it.
Ted Lasso's back.
Yeah. I still haven't watched any of that yet.
Great show. This season's really interesting.
I've heard good things.
Mandalorian's back. We've been watching that.
Oh yeah.
Viewership's down. Blah, 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 blah. It's still great. It's really fun. We're gonna probably watch. We need to catch up on it. We missed the episode on Wednesday.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great TV going on right now.
Yeah. It's a plethora of goodness.
Yeah. What are you playing?
It's funny because I was playing The Witcher and I told myself, I was like, I just want to get to that expansion pack that I never played.
Yeah.
In Toussaint, the Blood and Wine,
Blood
I think
and Wine. The best
I was like,
DLC ever created.
Opens fantastic. You fight a giant. He knocks down a windmill. Like, it's great. And then I haven't played it in like 2 weeks.
And it's like playing in a Monet painting. It's so beautiful.
I literally got to Toussaint and then I stopped playing it.
I get it.
I don't know why. I want to play more of it. It has had a recent patch screwed the game up pretty bad.
For PC?
No, on the console too.
Really?
Oh yeah. Because it crashed on me a number of times.
Really?
And I think it's part of the reason I stopped playing. But it's worse on the PC for sure. But it definitely has some console issues as well. The 4.07 patch or whatever. And they released another one that's supposedly for the console. It's better.
Good.
But I haven't popped it back in to see.
I play because I'm pretty close to finishing that.
Finally?
Yeah. I finished both expansions, and I'm on the aisle looking for Ciri. I've got everybody shored up to come in and help fight the Wild Hunt.
The big battle.
Just got to bring my girl home.
Yeah.
But I got so distracted. I was playing...
Well, that's the thing, is that there was some really great sales going on through the PlayStation Store. And I picked up a bunch of these games. I picked up like 5 games for like less than $20.
Oh, it's great.
And it's like these games are really good.
Yeah. And they're fun little gems that you can discover. I got distracted watching The Last of Us, which was excellent.
Yeah.
Absolutely adored that.
Great show.
Can't wait for the second season. Bella Ramsey, my God.
Yeah.
And Pedro Pascal.
Superb.
Excellent. But I played, while I was watching that, I played through The Last of Us Part 1, the PS5 version. And that was so much fun. I did an N+, which I love N+ now. That's my thing.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. It's so much more fun
right.
to play an N+ version. But
on most games. Sometimes the N+ can be even more frustrating.
Sure. Yes. I mean, it was a little harder.
Yeah.
Which was fun. I mean, it was more of a challenge. And then I was just like so wrapped up in the world and loved it so much that I immediately went into Last of Us Part 2.
Right.
I did an N+ replay of that.
Yeah.
N+, for those of you who don't know, just quickly, is you replay the game, but you get to keep all the stuff, a lot of the stuff that you
essentially you're at the level you were at the end of the last game you played.
Instead of trying to find all the guns and
you have everything.
Guns. You have it all.
It allows you to be a badass.
Yes.
and be awesome.
That's what I did with The Witcher. I've got a lot of... I've never done an N+ before, and now I'm doing all 20,000 N+. And I burned through that game, and oh my God, that game, The Last of Us Part 2, is unlike any other game I've ever played. It is so well crafted.
Yeah.
And the way that they torture you for your decisions, and you play as Ellie from The Last of Us Part 1, and you also play as this character Abby, who is her enemy. I'm not going to spoil what happens,
don't spoil anything,
but it's basically a story of vengeance, and hatred, and the lengths that you'll go, and
how much vengeance is enough vengeance.
When I got to the end, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's a fight at the end. When I got to that fight, I didn't want to push the buttons. I did not want to fight that fight. You don't want to fight it. You're forced to.
Yeah.
And it totally makes sense that you're doing it, but I hated doing it.
Yeah.
Hated that.
That's
exactly
myself. What they wanted you to feel.
And it's insane that you can feel that from a video game. People think video games are just mindless, stupid.
No.
But this game, more so than just about any other film, affected me because you're dozens of hours with these characters from both sides.
Yeah.
And you know, usually in games you just go and there's carnage and you kill all these people and there's no real repercussions.
Right.
But this side, you see it from both sides.
That's crazy.
You know, all these people that you just murdered as Ellie.
Right.
You do the flip side, and you get to know them all, and then you're like, "Oh my God, I feel so horrible for what I did." But it's still very fun, and the combat's amazing, and
still very engaging. Yeah,
just a 10 out of 10, and I finished it. I mean, I usually, you know me.
You'll wait for the last act forever. Yeah,
but I've been trying to clear out the catalog. I'm almost. I think I'm got like 2 side missions left for Hogwarts, and then I'm pretty much done. I'm not going to do a lot of the busy work, the open world
collection stuff.
But that's almost done. And then, like you, I picked up a couple of, cheapies, and I just got this game yesterday called Dismantle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's really okay? They had a Diablo 4 beta.
Oh yeah.
And I've never been a Diablo guy. I've never really been a top-down
right
video game guy. This like the it's a bird's eye view, kind of 3/4 top view. Man, that thing sucked me in like nobody's business. I'm so excited for the game now.
Yeah,
it's super on my radar, and And because I had so much fun with that, and we played the Ascent, which
top down's getting better for sure. Yeah, the Ascent is great, which we need to keep playing.
Yeah,
because I think about that game way more than I should.
Oh yeah,
because I really enjoyed it. It's got such a good look.
But I was just jonesing for another top down, and I found this game Dismantle that was on sale, real cheap, and I read a couple reviews.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, whatever. It's a few bucks. Why not try it?
Yeah.
And it was great. It's like this top down apocalyptic.
Kind of a survival game, kind
of, but survival light, not the really, like the tedious survival
not like
stuff.
The Sons of the Forest,
right? Which I just have never been able to get into that kind of like craft. I love crafting and RPG stuff and all that, but like building shelters and permadeath and it's not my thing. But this is really fun, and it's just the perfect kill a few hours.
Yeah.
It's
that's the same way I felt about The Last Stand Aftermath. Which is a top-down game that is actually funny because it has permadeath all the time. It's just that you just start playing as another character.
Right. That's part of the baked-in story.
Yeah. But it's great and it's fun, and it was one of those you can play it for a couple hours. You don't have to get super invested.
Yeah.
You can get a little further every time you restart with somebody else. You get a little further and all that, and it's super fun. And I was never a huge, of course, whenever I think of top down, I think of like Gauntlet,
sure.
And like these games that I was kind of like, yeah, they're fine.
Yeah.
Like but they're really coming into their own.
Oh, the graphics for Diablo 4 were impeccable.
Oh my God, it looked amazing.
It's got a great story, and the RPG mechanics are great. I just love a value. I love a game that you can play for 1,000 hours.
Right.
And it looks like this is one of those.
One of the games I picked up on sale was Dead Island, which I had never played before.
Same.
And
it's like $2.
It was
it's
so
like a cup
cheap.
Of coffee.
And it's so funny because the first act, I started playing it, and Jim was like, "Oh, how do you feel about it?" And I was like, "Well, the first act, I literally haven't died yet." And then I got to the second act, and I've died like 8,000 times to the point where I actually stopped playing for a while because I was getting so frustrated with it. It was just like, but it's good, and it makes me really excited about Dead Island 2, which is coming out
this month
soon.
Or next month.
Next month,
April.
Which I didn't know Dead Island 2 was set in San Francisco and Los Angeles.
I just thought it was Los Angeles.
And it is, I don't know if San Francisco is like a part of it, but it was a review I saw was talking about it. But the Los Angeles stuff that I saw, I was like, oh my God, that is literally like a zombie apocalypse in LA.
It's not an open world game.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people thought. It's more of hubs.
Yeah.
Which I'm
is
fine with.
How the first game was.
Exactly. I'm cool. Not everything has to be an open world.
No.
If it's a good story, like, the open world elements in Last of Us Part 2 were cool, but they didn't add a ton of stuff to the story.
Right.
It was, it was fun to be able to run around and find stuff.
Around. Yeah.
Like Guardians of the Galaxy was a great action adventure game where you did the story.
Right.
God of War, same way.
Yeah.
A great action adventure game with a little bit of exploration and stuff that you don't have to do. It's just I get overwhelmed with RPGs as much as I love them.
Yeah, but agreed. And it's that point where it's like, they're too big. There's too much. It's too much choice.
My RPG FOMO.
Yeah.
That I'm going to miss something, or I'm going to miss a story.
Right. You have to collect everything. You have to do all of it. Yeah.
It's weird. I don't have that in any other aspect of my life, except for that. I just like, oh, I don't want to miss something.
I did start playing God of War Ragnarok, and I have been appreciating it. I did realize that I was playing it on a way harder level than I needed to be.
Oh, really?
So I was like, because it got to it's another one of those where it was like, oh, okay, this isn't too bad.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't playing on a super hard level, but I was like, okay, this isn't too bad. And then, man, yesterday, got into some guys. 2 hits, I was dead. I was like, okay, time to turn this down.
Yeah, there's like these Souls games, like Elden Ring, and
right.
I should really like them, but they're too hard. I like a challenge.
Yeah,
but I don't want to be frustrated.
Yes,
I don't want to spend the days of spending 3 days trying to beat, or 3 weeks trying to beat Zelda.
Yeah,
exactly. Back in the day, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to have a good time and.
Well, and that's just it. Is like I haven't quite with Ragnarok. I haven't quite gotten down to the story mode yet, because I still would like. It's a video game, But at the same time, like
you're a seasoned player,
sure,
you are.
I still get very frustrated by stuff. Yeah, but that's the other part of it is I don't have the time to like figure out to get better at it. It's like I want the story. And if I were to play the first game again, I would 100% just go down to story mode and just breeze through it.
I'm thinking about doing that to get through it because I want to get to the second one.
It also doesn't, like, with achievements and trophies and stuff, like, it doesn't matter. Like, none of it's challenge-based.
Well, there's no shame.
No. And it's not,
play the game how you want to play it, how you enjoy it. If a game is super... one of the problems... Sometimes, even in The Witcher, there was a battle that I had to turn it down. To easy because it was just the most difficult battle in the game, the final boss in the expansion in Blood and Wine.
Right,
it's a ridiculously hard battle, harder than anything else in the entire game, harder than the boss battle at the end. But
that was when I did God of War. There was a certain. I was trying to get 100% on it, and there was a certain. You have to beat all these like Valkyries.
Yes, yeah.
Man, and you finally beat all the Valkyries, and there's like 10 of them or 12 of them or something. And then the last one comes out, and I put that on story mode, and I tell you, even then, could not beat this person. Like, it was so hard.
Oh, those are famously difficult.
So
There's
hard.
A ton of... I think even the Game Ranks guys did a whole thing about it.
Yeah, but so it's very possible within the next few days that with Ragnarok, I'm just going to dump it down to story and just be like,
whatever. I'm also going to start playing Stray.
Yeah, I'm excited to play that.
I need something that's just light. I mean, after the 2 Last of Us games, man, it's just so brutal. I just need something that's going to...
Brutal.
Yeah, where I can be a kitty cat in the future talking to robots. That sounds fun.
I'm excited to play it.
I am too. The little bit that I played is super fun. Any game about a cat that has a dedicated meow button, and it'll bring Ripley and I closer together.
That's true.
She likes to sit on my lap and watch me play the game. She's like, no, don't do that. That's not what a cat would do.
Oh, it's fun.
It's been a really good month. My love for Steve Martin has just grown stronger, if that was even possible.
Yeah.
And Martin Short, watching the Ed Grimley cartoon again just brings back so many fun college memories. And
honestly, watching him in Clifford made me love him just a hair more than Steve Martin.
Yeah.
Just because it was so weird.
There is no better ball of energy than Martin Short.
Yes.
That guy, usually loud, not desperate, because I don't think he's desperate, but loud, desperate kind of comedy is a turnoff for me.
Right.
But not him.
No.
B is loud and not because he does it in a way that makes fun of it, and there's just no performer like him.
No, not at all.
And the amount of joy that it seems, and if it's not true, he's the greatest actor ever.
Oh no,
in the world. But the amount of joy that it seems to bring him being on stage is infectious.
Yeah, perfect example. Watch the Netflix special with him and Steve Martin.
Yes,
A Night You Will
Soon Forget,
or A Night You Will Never Remember, or something like that. But watch it, because the bit where he's alone and he sings and he was like essentially came up with a one-note joke, and man, he committed to that, and it went and it goes in such weird places.
Yeah,
but it's so good.
Yeah,
it's so good.
And to have been in that business for so long, you got guys like Chevy Chase or even Bill Murray that seems just so put out
Yeah.
by having to be who they are.
To do stuff. Yeah.
It's just the amount of joy that that it seems like he has just to be doing anything.
Yeah.
Is infectious. And Steve Martin, too. I mean, they truly seem to love each other and love what they do.
Yeah.
And that is the best kind of performer to be.
Exactly.
Exactly. How lucky are you? Yeah. How lucky are you to have a 50, 60-year career,
right,
and still be able to do what you love with the people that you love? How could you not just be so grateful?
Yeah. How could you not be full of joy all the time?
Come on, Chevy Chase. We loved you, baby. What happened?
Yeah.
Come on, Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Everybody loves you, man.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, just show a little joy. That's all.
Well,
all right. Well, we'll be back next week. We're going to start my birthday month.
Yeah, Mr. Matheson.
Jumping into Richard Matheson month. And we're going to start with the Omega Man.
Yeah, Omega Man.
The old Chucky Heston.
Gonna drink a lot of Cutty Sark.
Non-vampire movie.
He's not vampires.
Yeah.
You jive turkeys. Yeah.
We'll see you next week.
Ooh. Ready? Welcome to the Gen X. I have so much trouble doing that now.
It's the name of the show.
It's just the rhythm. Welcome to the Gen X Files. I'm Jim. We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming. Barney Miller, already in progress.